What's up, ladies and gents? This is Idaho Dub with another Modern Warfare 3 video. But where's Madden, Dub? Where's my Madden at? Give me Madden. Don't worry, I'll be putting up a Madden video tomorrow, and I'll put up a couple Madden videos in a row to keep you guys happy. But I really wanted to talk about something that happened to me recently, and it happened to me a few years ago, and I'm sure that's probably happening to some of you guys. And because I know a lot of you are in college, maybe getting ready to graduate, and you're thinking about your future, like, where am I going to work at? What am I going to do? And everything that goes into what happens after college. And so I'll just start, I guess, when I graduated college. When I graduated college, it's in 2009, and I was applying to a ton of jobs before I graduated and after I graduated. And I kept on getting rejected from the jobs. A lot of times I didn't even get interviews, or I would get an interview and I would still get rejected. So I got really down on myself during that time period. As far as, getting a job, I was like, man, I did all the right things. I went to college, got my degree. Why am I not getting a job and making money like everybody said I would if I went to college? And so I got really down on myself. And it's really easy to get down on yourself when you're getting rejected all the time. But one thing I tried to do, and this is my advice to you guys, is don't take a denial from a job as a negative. If you get an interview with somebody, or you get some feedback on your resume, anything when you're getting denied, take it as a positive, because it's experience and nobody can take the experience away from you. And what happens when you get denied? You get experience. You still get that experience of applying for a job and fighting to get that job, and it'll only make you better in the future when you're applying for other jobs. So eventually I ended up getting a job, and I was one of the lucky people. I got a job like 3-4 months after college. Now that might sound like a long time to some of you, but in this economy, that's pretty good. So I finally got the job, and I was at that position for a couple years, and then the job kind of became mundane. Like, I pretty much had learned everything that I could, and I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere in the position I'm at, because it was basically a dead end of my company. So I was looking around, I was thinking about leaving the company even though I didn't want to. And then this job appeared at my company, and I applied for it, and it was a position that I knew I could move up quickly, but I had no experience in this particular field in the job. All I really had was I'd been at the company for 2 years, and I was a really good employee at my other position. So I applied for the job, and there was like 15 internal candidates. So 15 people at my company applied for it. I don't know how many people outside the company. So I interviewed for the job, and it went really well. Now, I didn't end up getting the job, but the day before I didn't get the job, the person who interviewed me called me in, and there's another lady in there, and she was actually an operations manager at our Salt Lake office. And they interviewed me, and I didn't really understand. I thought maybe it was just a second interview, so my hopes were up. I was like, man, I'm going to get this job for sure now. But they actually ended up interviewing everybody there. And I found out the next day I didn't get the job, and I was so bummed. I was like, man, what am I going to do now? Like, all my hopes were up. I thought I was getting off this, out of this job I was on. I was starting to kind of slack on the job, because I was like, doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be on this, working on this stuff in a few weeks anyway. So I didn't get it. And a couple of days later, I got a call from this lady in Salt Lake, and she actually offered me the same exact job, except I had to move to Salt Lake. Now, nothing against Salt Lake. Salt Lake's a nice city, but I grew up like 3 or 4 hours from there, and I just knew that my lifestyle wasn't going to mesh well in Utah. And basically, I was going to have to commit at least 2 years to live in Utah. And ultimately, I couldn't do it. I thought about it long and hard, but I couldn't do it. And when you get these kind of opportunities, there's some advice that I would recommend, because I beat myself up over this. So I turned the job down, and I was like, man, should I have done that? Because I basically turned down a great opportunity. The only thing I really had to give up was moving to Salt Lake, which is kind of a big thing. I had to get up and move. I don't have a family, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And so ultimately I turned it down, and I beat myself up for a few weeks. I was like, man, why did I do that? Like, I turned down more money. I turned down, room for growth in the company. And I just thought maybe I made a huge mistake. A few weeks after that, that same lady from Salt Lake called me and offered me the same job, but in Portland, so I could stay here. And I took it, and that's where I'm at now. But when I reflect back on it, I think about, like, could I have done something differently? And I don't think I could have. I think I approached it right, even though I beat myself up over it. And my advice is, if you get in that situation, and you get a job opportunity, but you're going to have to move, or, you know, something drastic is going to have to change in your life, take some time and think about it. You know, talk about it with your family or whoever, your girlfriend, your wife. Talk about it, and then, you know, when you make your decision, be happy with it. Don't beat yourself up. And I kind of did that, even though I knew I made the right choice. For some reason, I was beating myself up. Don't beat yourself up. When you make that decision, know you're making the right decision. Like, hey, you know, I made the right decision. It's time to move on. Because, you know, what I was thinking when I turned it down was, I'm not going to get an opportunity again. Like, I turned down this opportunity, and it's not going to come again. And that's not the case. They're interviewing you, and they're offering you a position where you might have to move because you're a good employee. You're a good candidate. So stay focused is my ultimate message in this video. Stay focused, stay positive, and good things will come. Man, I'm sorry I kind of rambled there. I ran out of time in this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I might talk more about this because I know a lot of people are out there. A lot of people out there don't have jobs or are trying to figure out ways to get jobs. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to address them. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Drop to the floor.